And it was over. Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing, Janice? How are you, pretty Lena? How are you, darling? Hey, as we strolled into place. Y'all, I'm still learning this live stream stuff, so y'all bear with me. I'm waiting on Stomp Down to come on into place, y'all. Y'all know last week we was up in here. Hey, Yolanda, how you doing? Hey, Lady Knuckles. You gonna be in the bushes tonight, finishing some work? That's cool. Y'all, I'm trying to do this music thing a little bit. Hey, Liberia Rose. Y'all, tonight we're gonna be talking about being prepared. You don't have to get, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we trying to do. We're trying to show y'all how to stay ready. That way you ain't gotta get ready. Cause that's our big thing. A lot of us, we don't stay ready. We always trying to get ready. And what happened when we trying to get ready? We always in the background doing the most. Y'all listen. I'm trying to do 15 things at one time. Y'all bear with a sister. Like good. Hey, Stomp Down. How you doing, Shug?
Hey, boo.
That's right, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Liberia Rose. I miss you, boo. I ain't seen you around in a minute. I love when I see you coming to the chat. Y'all, she the sweetest person. Please go and subscribe to her channel, to Liberia Rose channel. So I reached out to D Cop. I hope she swing through.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear my little music?
Yeah, I hear, girl. Hey, Lena.
Look, I'm
You...
trying to do a little something. I told y'all I was on virtual DJ. I think I'm a DJ. Look, I'm trying to do some things and trying to improve some stuff. It's kind of hard, but you know how it is. Let me share this out. Hey, L Nixon, how are you tonight, darling? Y'all, so y'all see the topic tonight. We're going to be talking about if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Am I right, Stomp Down?
That's absolutely correct, boo.
So that's what we at, y'all. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And that's what a lot of problems is. A lot of us, we don't stay ready. We still be trying to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, y'all. Stomp Down and I, we've been talking about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What we want to start with?
We really just, I talked to Yolanda about this. I think we really need to discuss food storage, acquiring a pantry, how to store it, how long of a period do you need to, keep it, etc.
There you go. Y'all heard that? Okay, so we were talking about this last week. How many of y'all started looking into getting your food storage and your pantries and stuff together? How many of y'all started doing that? How many of y'all started going to buy a couple of items when you go to the store? Stomp Down, I'm going to let you start by telling them why it's so important that we need to have a pantry stock.
Well, it's important because what they're getting ready to do, you're getting ready to have an economic collapse. And people who have lived 30 or more years, if you can't clearly see what's happened in the past is currently happening today, you're at a very grave loss. And unfortunately, as I've stated on here numerous times, you've had people who, during this entire year, the previous year and this year, to my knowledge, not everyone, but most will tell you that they know someone that at any given time could have two, three, four, five, even $6,000 worth of food stamps. What did they do with it? Where did it go? How did they utilize that money, that extra money that they were given to prepare their families? What happened to the money? And I'll just leave that as an open ended question. But again, getting back to my original premise, as you can see, they're allowing people, which black people are going to go, they're going to go right back out here and vote for these Democrats. They're going to rush. They can't wait to do it. They're allowing all of your replacements to come in here. You got to remember that they have 160,000 Afghanistan refugees that they're bringing into this country. It takes, you can look this up. It takes anywhere from $100 to $300,000 per person to settle them. Each person. That's your reparations right there going out the door. And you're allowing all of these Hispanics to come into the country. So if they're going to displace the people, for example, with the moratorium being released or abolished or done away with, put them out on the streets. Who do you think is going to take your place in these apartments, these houses, all of these different living arrangements that you have? Because you're not being prepared, because you're not making people do what's right for you. And how does that go with the topic this evening? Well, it actually goes quite well with it. If you don't manage your money properly, your resources properly, you don't prepare properly, you'll be out on the streets. That's where they want you to be at anyway. And again, we have multiple people in the community that have the money, have the resources to do what you need to do, but are you doing it? We talked about gardens, raised garden beds. You don't have to buy a raised garden bed. You can make one out of cinder blocks. You can make one out of pieces of wood. Raised garden bed. What about your freezer? Do you have a freezer in your home? Do you have one in your garage? Do you have a way to keep your products fresh in the event that the electricity goes out? Those are just some of the things that I think we need to briefly discuss here this evening. Go ahead on, Via.
The other thing we talked about is we also need to have our getaway our what they call bug out bags,
Mm-hmm.
our generators,
Mm-hmm.
keeping extra gas like a gas can
Mm-hmm.
in your car, because you never know when the gas collapse gonna happen again.
Right. And look at what happened, for example, Yolanda. Look at what happened in Louisiana again. The people couldn't get out. The ones who remained, they can't get gas. I've heard that they had a loss of. I hear an echo in the background. Viv, put yourself on mute, girl.
Yes, sir.
They have had issues with obtaining electricity. They're talking about those folks are going to be without lights for 2 months. They don't have running water. They don't have vehicles. They don't have access to medical. They don't have anything. And unfortunately, and it's very unfortunate, I saw on YouTube where there were multiple people going to the grocery store that's on a higher ground that has a generator, and they're limited to what they can get. And if they're unable to get to those large box stores, and for example, they go to the convenience store, they're only taking cash. They don't take EBT. They don't take credit cards. They don't take checks. So again, preparedness. Preparedness. Go ahead on, Via.
The other thing you guys got to know, guess what? A lot of people are not taking, they want change. Hey, Celine. A lot of people, they want change because they're like, it's a change shortage, y'all. It's a
That's
change shortage.
hmm that's absolutely true. And the thing that Yolanda is saying is that we had electricians leave from here going there early this week. Yeah, and guess what? It's going to continuously go on down there. You had Kiki. from Louisiana. What's his name? Kiki's so handsome. The one with the rat teeth that's missing like half the front left side of his mouth of teeth. He had to evacuate to
That's him.
Houston. He had to evacuate to Houston. Honey, people, we just got to be a little bit more prepared and just, try our best to do our best. Yolanda was telling me about all of her prepping and how she preps and when she preps and how she stores her items and all of that. And it's just best if you can, you know, to just be aware of your surroundings, pay attention to the stores when you go into them, write a list out of what you and your family needs, and try to accomplish everything that's on that list. And yes, Lady Knuckles, keep a couple of $100 in cash because you never know when you might have to just grab your kids, put them in the car, and your ass might have to go. And so we need to ensure that we go to places like Discount Tires, make sure our tires are new or as new as we can get them. We need to make sure that we have our tune-ups if we need it. We need to make sure that we have the oil change. All of that stuff needs, again, on the list. Just knock them off one by one. Always be prepared.
And also, we talked about this last week too. You got to make sure that you have your protection ready. Everybody is not efficient with all different types of weaponry. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, like a bow and arrow, if I had to shoot a bow and arrow, I don't have an upper body strength to pull back. Because people don't realize how hard it is to pull up to do archery. Archery is
Mm-hmm.
hard. Okay. A lot of people like, yeah, I'm just gonna give me a bow and arrow and I'll be out there shooting rabbits. It ain't that easy. I promise you
Mm-hmm.
it's not. So we also got to prepare our bodies along with ourselves. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you guys why like people talk about the fasting. Fasting is important because guess what? We got to prepare ourselves just in case we don't have food enough. And
Mm-hmm.
so we got a couple of things we're going to discuss today. So let's start with talking about why do you think, okay, so the first thing you said, you think it's going to be an economic collapse. Why do you think that? And I'm going to
Because
let you go ahead.
you just can't keep printing money. You can't keep giving people free money. And I'm not saying that it's free in the sense of, they don't have to pay it back. Of course, we have to pay it back. Nothing is free in this country. And so all the money that they're printing out, which is fiat currency, we all know that it's not real money. The real money is the gold. It's the resources. It's the minerals. It's all of those things. That's the real stuff. But at some point, every dime of that money is going to have to be paid back, and it's going to be paid back over generations. But for where we are right now, you can't tell me that a house that was worth $120,000 a year ago is worth $300,000 a day. Now, that depends on the state that you're in. For example, if you to go to DC, Maryland, Virginia, any of the northern states, you'll see that houses that last year were worth $200,000, today they're worth $600,000. People are pulling that money out. They're using those homes as a ATM. They're going to pull all this money out, and those homes are going to be just left standing there. Somebody's going to have to pay that. And you got to think also about there are no fucking jobs. People are not goddamn working. They just said here yesterday that 350,000 first-time unemployment people went back on the roads. So yeah, they're taking and putting people off, but there's just as many people going on. And if people don't have money to pay for rent, food, and utilities, and they have their cars taken from them, etc., they gonna burn this motherfucker down. And that's just the goddamn truth. We cannot keep going in the direction that we're going in, expecting for a better outcome. Biden, with his feeble-minded ass, just said on the news yesterday, oh, I'm gonna make all the nurses get shots. I'm gonna make all the doctors get shots. I'm gonna make any company that has 100 or more employees, I'm gonna make them get shots. And as you can see all over YouTube, doctors, lawyers, nurses, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, they're leaving their fucking job. So who's gonna be the nurse? Who's gonna provide the medical? What about the dentist that have two or three places where they do dental work? Okay, who's getting ready to pull the teeth out? So I don't know how people don't see what's going on. I think a lot of this shit is been pre-planned. I think a lot of this stuff has been pre-planned. And for example, now they're telling you straight up before you even apply for the jobs. Okay, well, if you don't have the shot already, you can't even put in an application.
You know what? That is true. You and I, we talked about this. We talked about this, about how they want you to have your vaccine card on the ready, or they will fire you, or you will
Yes.
not get hired. I was looking on Indeed, and every other job I saw was saying we need proof of vaccination. And guess what? For those of us who live at an at will state, do you guys know what an at will state is? That's a state where they will fire your ass at will.
Texas is one of them.
And if you're in an at will state, if they tell you you got to show your card, and you right, your card is worth more than your social security card and your driver's license. Because guess what? I went to the VA today to get a
Mm.
duplicate vaccine card. And I was like, why couldn't y'all just mail this in the mail? The man told me, do you know how much these cards are going for? We are making y'all sign for these cards. That way we could prove that we gave it to you. And it
And
was a,
not
and they write duplicate across it, like you sold your first one.
right. And Lady Knuckles, what's so crazy about it is this is what's so crazy about it. If you go online and you pull up the CDC, the form that you fill out when you get ready to receive the vaccination, okay? Why are they asking people for their mother's maiden name? Why do you need to know my mother's maiden name to get a vaccination? Think about that, people. They want to trace it. Everything is being traced back to the matriarch. So, for example, let's say your mother had 7 kids, 7, 8, 10 kids. You name the number, right? That's a way for them to cross check to see if Johnny and Deborah and Yolanda and everyone else has been vaccinated. It all goes back to your mother. When you guys get the time, because I do a lot of reading, if you go on to the CDC's website or you go onto your state's website where you can actually see the physical form, why are these people ask, why do you need to know my mother's maiden name? If I go get a flu shot, ain't nobody ever asked me for my mother's maiden name. Think about that, people. If I go get a hepatitis C shot, for example, or go through that, okay, ain't nobody asking me for my mother's maiden name. If you take your children in to have them vaccinated for school, do you have to provide your mother's maiden name for your children to get vaccinated? Baby, it is some bullshit going on with this vaccination bullshit. People, please be careful. That's all I'm. People, you need to be careful and you need to get prepared. If you have bills, baby, y'all need to be paying that shit off. It's a difference between what you want and what you need. Okay? If you don't need it, don't try to want it. If you don't have to have it, don't get yourself tied up in this shit where these people gonna come after your money and your children. If you don't fucking need it, leave that shit in the store. You don't need a new couch every damn 3 years. Okay? They don't wear out that goddamn quick unless you got some shit from Big Lots or some bullshit. Baby, if you got any kind of debt, you need to be getting rid of it because they're coming after everybody.
Well, Big Lot Furniture won't tell me eat that easily if you keep people up off his shit.
Especially if they got them wide asses and them old greasy damn slits. Oh my God. Go ahead on, girl.
So, all right. So the other thing we have to think about. So we know that they coming at our jobs, at our heads with the jobs like that. So that's one way. The other thing is being prepared with what supplies do we need? What are some things that we need to keep on hand? The first thing you need to keep on hand is you need to get water.
Right.
Water. You need to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you keep water on hand. You
Mm-hmm.
guys get you some cases of water. Water what? You get some $2. You get a case of water, 24 things for about $2 or $3. Am I right?
Right. I pick up two every time I go to HEB. And I think I've got about maybe 15 or 20. And of course, I rotate them. Okay, I just don't let them sit there. I rotate them. And L. Nixon, I want you to check this out when you get an opportunity. Look at what they're doing to the people in Australia. See, our media here, this Western media, is blocking everything out, L. Nixon. What they're not showing us is that these people have had over 25,000 of their children taken from them, taken to a state-ran location, given the vaccination, and some of them haven't even been. The majority of them have not even been returned to their parents, and the parents are being locked up just like criminals. This is on the internet. If you go and you put in Australian whatever, it'll come up and you'll physically be able to see this stuff that's going on. So again, all I'm saying is, baby, we got and have to be prepared. All this bullshit with hanging out in the clubs and you got to drink liquor 24. And of course, I'm not saying this about anybody in our chat, but I'm just saying all this bullshit, we got to cut all that shit out. We have to be prepared. We have to pay attention, and we have to ensure that we're able to take care of not only our immediate family, but what about the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the great grand. So we have a larger responsibility, is what I'm saying. Go ahead on, Via.
And you're right. You're right. So, you know what? I'm gonna ask L. Nixon. D Cop is here. She said she got a migraine. She just listening. But I'm gonna let L. Nixon, if he want to jump up here, he can jump up here too, because I know L. Nixon be doing that preparedness too. Because he was just talking about ordering his inside pots.
Right.
He was talking about ordering his inside pots for potatoes and plants and stuff.
Right. And he's doing the right thing.
And Vibrant Lowell is right. It's time for this unnecessary spending.
If you don't need it, baby, let me tell you something. You can only eat so much food at one setting. So learn how to preserve your food. Learn how to go without 4, 5, 8, 9 meals a day plus snacks. And of course, you know I'm being sarcastic, but we have got to get sensible here. That's all that I'm saying. Hey, D-Cop, baby, I see you. But all I'm saying is that we need to be sensible. And I told D-Cop that when she appeared back here again this week, I was going to ask her about that freezer. I know she's out doing exercise. I know she's retired, but she ain't no grandmother. She ain't 70 years old. D-Cop, what's the deal on the freezer? You said that you were going to go over and look at those freezers at Lowe's or Home Depot. Have you done that yet?
She said she listening in the bushes tonight because she said she got a headache. She got a migraine.
Oh, I know, but she
said she got her freezer. See there you go. D-Cop did what she said she was going to do. She got her freezer.
We can't be taking no chances. And again, I've seen them over there at Lowe's. No, they're not the ones your grandmother used to have that was sitting out in the garage that took up half the damn garage wall. I'm not, I don't even know if they make them that large anymore. But you can go and get one anywhere from, I've seen them over there, $180, $250. The real nice ones, the very large, what I consider to be large, you get up for $350, $400. It just depends on your budget. But again, we have to be sensible. We need to be concerned about our own people, our own community, and we need to have those contacts.
Hey, L. Nixon. Meet Stomp Down, meet L. Nixon. We got L. Nixon on that.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, sir, how you doing?
I'm so glad y'all having this talk. Like, I think a lot of people just carrying on like everything is good.
And it's not good, L. Nixon, right? What have you observed in your daily to the store, to the convenience store to get groceries? What have you observed in the last, let's say, 60 days?
I mean, well, I have observed like their stores asking for people to bring in change.
Wow.
Bring rolled in change and stuff like that. Like there's people like really hurting. I mean, I of course I've saved a lot of change and stuff that I didn't even know I had that much, but I'm going through my stuff now. But people are looking for change, and I'm like, wait a minute. I remember when we were in the middle, of the pandemic, and there was a change shortage, right? And it really wasn't, really worrying about like the coins and stuff like that. But now they like extra desperate.
Wow.
You
And
know what I'm
that's in
saying?
and that's in what area? Are you in the Midwest or the Southeast or
I'm in Virginia, the
wow.
Hampton Roads area.
And so this is a great conversation. So in that area, I have seen Virginia, New Jersey, New York, Baltimore, etc. I've seen where they said that there's a severe food shortage up there. Is that correct?
Um, well, as far as where I'm at in Virginia, I haven't seen that yet, but I mean, there's some weird stuff going on. Like in New York, they've started to mandate, like even in like entertainment areas. I mean, they're really going heavy up in New York. So, of course, the surrounding areas are going to start, but they're pushing it. Like you got to have your cards and stuff like that before you even go to a lounge or a club.
Wow. And one thing I've noticed as well, I don't know if you guys have picked up on it, but for example, uh, the air machines where you would normally go to air up your tires, the majority of those are debit card now. You can't put coins in them anymore. So they're trying to, basically, get people off of coins and paper money onto everything being on a plastic card. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, yeah. And you think about it, right?
Hmm.
Once they do that and everything's electronic, that's just an easier way for them to control us. You know what I mean? If
Wow.
our money is in the bank and we can't get to it, what are we gonna do? What good is our money if we can't get to it?
That is correct. And that's the reason why I think it's imperative, like Viv was saying earlier, that even and you stay in an apartment currently, right?
The house.
A house. And see, even he knows people, he's getting prepared. You can go out here and you don't necessarily have to have a raised bed. You can get a 5 gallon bucket and have a small garden. You can get multiple 5 gallon buckets, anything that can hold soil, that can be, you can put holes in it for it to be drained, for it to drain off, etc. You have to start somewhere and be very cautious of the seeds that you buy at places like Lowe's and Home Depot. You really need to be looking for those heirloom seeds. You need to look for the heirloom seeds, not the ones that the GMOs are putting in these stores. They produce one time and they're dead forever.
See, I'm writing that down. Matter of fact, if you go on Amazon, like say if you live in an apartment or you want to put it out on your terrace or your balcony or whatever, they have pots. I think they come in like four
Hmm.
for lowest like $19 to $20, and it takes about 7 weeks to harvest.
Right, and this is one I want you to write down if you can. I order all of my seeds out, and I have the 2022 catalog already. But it's Baker Creek heirloom seeds. You can see it on Google, and again, it is Baker Creek heirloom seeds. I order all of my products there. I don't buy the seeds. Now I do have a small stash of them, L. Nixon. I have a small stash of those GMO seeds because I may need them. But
Okay.
the rest of my seeds are heirloom seeds. People, I'm going to say this until we're blue in the face. You need to get prepared. Stop fooling around. If you have space underneath your bed, if you can get those plastic bins that fit up underneath your bed, if you can get Mylar bags, air absorbers, you need to get on Google, you need to get on YouTube, you need to see how to utilize the air absorbers, what they can and cannot go in. You need to get your grains, your rice, you need to get your beans, which is a source of protein. You need to get up off of your ass, stop with the bullshit, and get your stuff in order. I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face because I'm concerned about my people.
So one of the other things we talked about, and you guys stomp down and out. This stuff we talking ain't no like bull jibby jive. I know y'all used to hearing us give a good kiki. Hey, Miss Hampton, tropical punch, Kool-Aid. I know y'all and Miss Cicelo. I know y'all used to us giving a good kiki. Hey, TC. But guess what? We gotta go through, and there's some stuff that we need to know about. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things that we talked about was, and I'm going to tell you, Stomp Down. Remember, we started out with a Kiki last week.
Right.
All right, somebody told me that they and their husband came back and listened at the end of our show when we were talking about this about us getting things together.
Mm-hmm.
And this person told me our show was confirmation for what her husband was saying about, look, honey, we got to get back on our stocking up of water. We got to
Stop
get back
playing.
on our stocking up of canned goods. We got to get our stuff together and have us some meals. Y'all,
Mm-hmm.
because the thing is, suppose the world shut down tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose they told you tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, that the store was closed and you can't get in there to get no food. What you gonna
Mm-hmm.
do?
Right. And Viv, you saw that picture I sent you today of my pantry, right?
I sure did.
Am I playing around?
No, you ain't playing around. And
I'm telling y'all.
that's just food for one person.
Right. I'm not playing
And
at
see, the
all.
thing is, we gotta also think about, all right, so we talked about this last week. El Nixon, this is what we talked about last week. Getting your A team together. Who
Okay.
is your A team? Who you gonna have if something go down? Where you
Mm-hmm.
going? Where y'all meeting up? Who got what resources, and are you ready to bug out? That's what the preppers call it, bugging out. Are you ready to bug out on a minute's notice if you have to?
And highlight Lena's comment for me, would you please? Highlight Lena's comment.
Wow.
And she's up there in Long Island, New York, so she has even more to deal with. Not only just the traffic, the commute, the trains, the people. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she has a whole different level that we don't have to deal with here in the southern states, especially like Virginia, New York, Boston. That's a whole nother world up there, in comparison to what we deal with here in Texas, whether it's Texas or Oklahoma or Kansas or Colorado. She's dealing with a whole nother thing up there, and I can't, I can't even imagine paying the taxes that she deals with. I can't imagine paying for commuting that she has to deal with, and it's the same thing in Virginia. But again, it only takes for you every time that you go out. If you're stopping at Dollar General and you say, "Well, I'm just going to get a can of soda," okay, why are you not picking up 4, 5, 68 cent cans of green peas? Make sure you turn it over and check the date on it. When you go over
Yes.
here to your local store, why are you going? Well, I'm just going to get a T-shirt. Okay, but why did you pass the pasta that's $1.68 a box that you can buy 15 of them? Why did you pass that up?
Yes. And if you go in the Dollar General, they got pretty good prices as far as, things that you can buy at other places. So yeah, if you go into that store, definitely pick up something.
You see what I'm saying? And we have to be concerned again about how we're going to move forward in the event that something happens. It doesn't matter if you're a single parent, you're married, you're a single individual, you're living with your mom, your dad, or whatever. At the end of the day, what's going to keep you moving forward is preparedness, being prepared. Do you have light bulbs? Do you have candles? For example, you can go in to HEB and buy a whole case of candles, which is 12 per case, not the little big ones, but the little the 6 ounce jars. You can get that for $10. Where are your candles at? It's just the simple things that we need to write down in order to be prepared.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a place that I found online. It's called Stealth, STEALTH, Angel, ANGEL, Survival, SURVIVAL.com. Now they sell what they call, for $139. You can get what they call a two-person emergency preparedness kit. It's a backpack that'll last for 72 hours. All right. Inside this backpack, I'm going to tell you what they have. It says, after an earthquake, hurricane, or other natural disaster, you may unfortunately be in a situation where you and your loved ones need to survive on your own for several days. This
Mm-hmm.
kit lasts for like 72 hours. I'm going to tell you what they got in there. They got water pouches, food bars, those calorie food bars. water purification tablets, because y'all never know when you're gonna have to go. You right, Lady Knuckles, is $139.29 for a two-person survival bag. It got let me see, a flashlight keychain, a flashlight radio charger, emergency sticks, because you never know when you have to get the emergency sticks, survival whistle, body warmers. Y'all know what a body warmer is? The body warmer is those things, because you never know when you have to be out in the woods and ain't got no nothing to keep you warm. Let me see. Emergency tent tubes with poles, emergency tent ponchos with hood, blankets. So it got a whole bunch of stuff in there. It got hygiene, sanitation stuff in there, and a first aid kit. And it got emergency survival. It was $279. Y'all going to get it while it's $139. And then I seen somebody else say they use patriots.com. I've seen that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there. Guess what, y'all? You can order a whole bucket with for like $159 with a couple of months worth of food in it for one person.
Mm-hmm. And we need, and like Tropical Punch says, you know, we don't need to sit around and be worried, but we do need to pray. And we do need to think about others, and we do need to get our house in order. You know, as the Reverend always says, you always have to have your house in order, which means, you know, for those in our families who choose not to be wise and do what they need to do, I just can't imagine a family, a woman, a man, you know, 2, 3 kids. I can't imagine you not trying to prepare your family for the worst. For example, let's say that he's going to mandate, which he has mandated all these vaccinations. Let's say that people walk off their jobs. Let's say that, for example, HEB has almost 200,000 employees because they're all over the great state of Texas. Let's say that they abide by his mandate. What's going to happen when, again, like multiple people have said here in the chat, the truck drivers are already stretched as far as they can go, but now the people at the check-in counter, then they leave. Then the people who stock the food in the nighttime, they leave. The people who clean, the people. See, it's all like a domino effect. So we have to, like Yolanda has said, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. We shouldn't have to sit up here and tell people over and over and over and over again. If you go on YouTube, there's thousands of current videos from every state where people have gone through Kroger's and Food Line and HEB. They've been all over the country. And what are they showing you? They're showing you that there is no food. It doesn't matter if the food is at the damn warehouse. If you don't have access to go to the warehouse, how can you have the damn food?
Yeah.
So
I heard they were preparing overseas already. Certain places already been preparing.
Now say that again.
I heard certain places overseas they already been preparing.
Hello, people.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to laugh when I used to see those prepper shows, but the more I saw it and the more I saw things going on in it, I said, you know what? Why we always got to be the last damn people to the party? We always the last people at the party. Y'all, we can't be the last people at the party this time.
Yeah, and you know
we
what?
We can't be the last.
This put things in perspective. I know when he was just talking about, getting your house in order. That involves, whether you're in a co-parent situation, whether you got issues in your, it's time to put all that stuff aside. I say the time for us when we united the most is when we had to struggle together when it came to dealing with a situation. Like you have events like 9/11 or whatever. Like it's a shame that it has to take times like that for people to put their differences aside and kind of work together on a grand scale.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he's absolutely correct. Did you know, Sir L. Nixon, that we talked last week, and there were multiple people in the chat that said they couldn't even find a box, let alone a pack of ramen noodle anywhere in their stores. Couldn't find ramen noodle.
Wow.
And I'm gonna
Wow.
tell y'all the truth. Y'all want me to tell y'all the truth? I used to work at Food Line. Remember last year during the shortages when people couldn't find toilet paper,
Mm-hmm.
when people couldn't find things? I promise you, I would go back there in the morning. I knew that they had 2 or 3 cases of Lysol. I saw it come in, but we couldn't get it that night. So they'd be like, "Oh, when you get in the morning, we'll have it." You get in the morning, it wouldn't be no Lysol on the shelves. Y'all know what happened? I would see managers stick the cases of Lysol in their office because
Well,
they were hoarding it for themselves.
Are you
well,
serious?
I swear for God. Then I found out where they stash places was. When they would come back to their stash places, they would wonder, wait a minute, I hid 3 or 4 or 5 cans for me and my family. Guess what? They 3, 4, 5 cans will be gone because I found out where all they stash places was. And I go and get it, and I bought it, and I would take it. That's how I was making my pandemic bags, y'all. That's I was giving it away. I would buy it, and I would give it to the older compromised people.
okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't getting a stash because I was keeping it for myself. If y'all
Mhm.
remember during the pandemic when I was working at a food line, I was telling people, all right, y'all, I'm gonna give away some Lysol. I'm gonna give away some masks. I'm gonna give away some stuff. Y'all understand? That's why I was doing that. I had toilet paper. They couldn't find no toilet paper. I would go back there. I'd be like, I'm about to take these 2 or 3, and I'm gonna buy this toilet paper right now. And guess what
Mhm.
I would do? I would keep that toilet paper in my car. So when people would come in the store, be like, I've been coming in here for 4 days trying to find toilet paper a week, and I need some toilet paper. My pastor had told me, Viv, he goes some extra money from the church. Get the supplies that you see. And guess what I would do? I kept the cases of toilet paper in my car, and he told me to give it out to the people in the community. I'm just saying.
Can you
I'm
can
just
you
saying, people.
can you highlight Miss Hampton's comment and address that? Because you're more biblically, attuned than I am. So maybe you might be able to answer her question or her comment.
Well, I don't know exactly what she mean about why nobody's talking about how the Bible says can't buy or sell. We can't buy or sell things, but the Bible says a whole lot of things. The thing is though, we as a biblical people, and it's just not me, it's just not you, and it ain't even all the biblical people. We got to help each other out. That's our issue. Everybody trying to keep everything for themselves.
Mm.
Well,
Okay?
let
They
me say
trying to
this.
keep everything for themselves.
Let me say this.
And the
I
thing
work
about
for.
us keeping things for ourselves, when your hand is closed up and
Mhm.
your hand is not open to give, you can't receive nothing either. Believe that. If your hand is closed up, it's not open, so you can't receive. If you can't receive, you can't give. And my thing is, I'm a giver, but I ain't stupid enough to give you everything I got. I got to keep some stuff for myself because I'm gonna make sure me and mine gonna have. And you right, Miss Hampton. Everybody not gonna make it, but guess what? Again, I got a team. I got a team. When I say I got a team, I got a down team. You got to know who on your team. I got some folk on my team that can build stuff. I got some MacGyvers on my team. I got some shooters on my team. I got them people that can cook on my team. I got some hunters on my team. And guess what? We know the meetup spot. And I'm telling y'all, my thing is right now, if I had about 30 people, 40 people that had some money and we could go in and we could buy this land, this one big land plot of land that I want to buy. It's like 199 acres. Guess what I do? I make a compound like them white folks do.
Mhm. And Teresa Miller is correct. I want L. Nixon to go ahead on. He had a thought. What were you thinking about, sir?
No, I was saying I work in technology. I'm not even gonna mention the company, but y'all, if I would, y'all know it. When we got back from you know from the lockdown, when things calmed down a little bit, so we have you can badge in, right? So
Hmm.
on the badge it has a little icon thing, right? So you have to hold it with your index and your thumb, right, to hold the badge up to scan,
Hmm.
and then you get in. You get in the front door after a certain time. It's on the time lock, but before 5, you can walk in the lobby, and then to get past the lobby, you have to scan it, right? So you have to have a health check to go into the building. When they finally let us go in, for whatever reason, this it took a while, right?
Hmm.
So if I had to go in to get something, from the office real quick, and I'm looking, I'm like, right underneath that, there's another little thing, right? And it's illuminated.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I don't remember this being here before, right? Now
Hmm.
this thing is illuminated blue. In the middle of it, there's a picture of an open palm hand. So
Huh.
I'm like, okay, now how the hell are you going to badge in with your palms open? And I'm like, man, these people, oh boy,
I'm
ain't no
glad
way
you
in
brought that up. But did L. Nixon and Teresa Miller, I see you, and I'm glad that you put that in there. I was thinking the same thing about the Mark of the Beast. I do want to have Vivian and the other people and L. Nixon speak on that. But you know what, L. Nixon, if you go back and you look at some of the sci-fi movies from 1, 2 years ago, you'll see that palm print entrance, exit, whatever panel where people are going in and out of, different types of
Mhm.
buildings.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, sir. You know what they're doing? They're gradually moving this AI, which they already have, but what we have right now, like the doorbell cameras and the cell phone cameras, and that's minor, that's secondary, stuff that's from like really 30 or 40 years ago. They have more advanced stuff now, AI, etc., biometrics, um, that I think within the next, like Yolanda said, next 2 or 3 years, we're going to see all of that. You're going to have to biometrically be able to present a thumb or an eyeball scan or something to get into a store or a medical facility or any of these places where we have to go, right?
Hmm.
And I'm seeing that going forward. I'm so happy. And I know people will probably say, you crazy, you want to live forever. No, baby, ain't nobody living forever. I'm so happy that I'm at a certain age to where in the next 2 years, my house will be paid off by the grace of God.
There you go.
I'll be able to sit in my backyard on my patio with my raised beds. Check this out, El Nixon. I even had a metal roof. When I had this roof replaced on this house because we had hail damage, I had a metal roof put on it. Of course, I had to pay an extra $3,000 because I had a $2,000, what do they call it? I had to pay $2,000 for the new roof, basically. But I went ahead on and added extra three to it to have the metal roof put on there.
That was your deductible.
That was my deductible. But what I'm saying, L. Nixon, is that moving forward in my age, I'm preparing for what I foresee coming. I was born in 1968. I've seen quite a bit of everything. I've seen people, um, for example, family members of mine who helped integrate certain public schools in certain states. I've seen,
Remember they had remember in 76 when we had to line up for gas
right, I remember all of that.
by the tag number.
Right. I remember all
Wow.
of that. So going forward, L. Nixon and Viv, what I'm seeing and what we're trying to impart to other people within this chat, within, our, where they can hear us, if they even come back and listen at a later point, all we're saying is you need to get your house in order. And those who don't want to listen, they don't care. It'll be there. It's always going to be a grocery store. Everything is always going to be okay. Baby, you might have to cut their ass loose and move the hell on.
And the thing is, it's not always going to be a grocery store. There are food deserts all over the place. That's what I said, food deserts. That's what they're called. It's food deserts all over the place. Do you know they go in the black neighborhood and tear down our grocery stores? And you guys, I don't even want to make this a biblical. I don't even want to make this a biblical uh uh discussion, because it ain't even about we what we talking about is getting prepared. We want you guys to
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. The
Yeah.
thing is, we know the mark of the beast, we see all of those things, we know the Bible, whatever. But guess what?
Mm.
We as a people need to learn how to work together and get
Mm-hmm.
ourselves together and get ready. What we talking about is preparedness. We want you to
Exactly.
have your bug out bags. We want you to have your food preps. We want you look, get the vaccine if you want it. Don't get the vaccine if you don't want it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna bother me anyway. Either way,
Mm.
it's not gonna bother me if you get the vaccine or not. I ain't here to convince you either way. Do what you do, boo. But what I'm saying is get your stuff together in your house. Get
And
your stuff together in your house. That's all I'm saying. Get you some
mm-hmm.
food. Get you some water. Have your emergency medical supplies. If you can order your extra medications that you need, keep some of them on hand. Either that or learn what the natural remedies are.
And I want to put this in there too. And Miss Hampton, you're absolutely correct. But you know what? I don't let any of these politicians brainwash me. I'm only speaking for myself, not collectively as a group of everybody that's in the chat. I know what they're doing. Miss Hampton knows what they're doing. Viv knows what they're doing. El Nixon knows what they're doing. But we need to know what we need to do for one another, for our own self, for our family. Okay. Now, another thing that Vivian brought up, you could go to Goodwill. They've got a lot of these places where you can go and find cookbooks. They have herbal books there. People have donated all these books. I go there probably once a month. You can pick up a book that tells, I mean, herbs don't change. You know, you can go there and find those type of books, gardening books. All those resources are there for a little bit of nothing.
The other thing I need you to do is make sure that you have your clothes. All right. So when I say your clothes, y'all, I need y'all to get some healthy clothes together. When I say healthy clothes, you need to have you some boots that fit correctly. You know what I'm saying? Um, some pants that that you can go out there in the woods, and if you have to, that's not going mess up and things. Make sure that you got your socks. Make sure that you got protective clothing and gear. You
And
understand what I'm saying?
I
Make sure
understand
you got
because
your protective gear.
we had a snowstorm here in Texas that we were over here for 2.5 days without electricity, and it was 20 damn degrees outside. You know what the hell saved me? This is how forward thinking I am. I had a tree in my backyard cut down, and I knew that tree, the wood is valuable. Okay, you don't just throw wood out like that. I know they have these uh, brush days where they come around and they pick up, they'll pick up all whatever you put out there as far as brush, they'll pick it up. No, that ain't going out there to the curb to be picked up. I want this tree cut, and I want it cut to fit my fireplace, and I want to sit on my patio. And
Yeah.
guess what? I went through 2.5 L Nixon. This is no lie. I went through 2.5 cords. That's what that tree was. 2.5 cords of wood in 2.5 damn days. And guess what? If I was not forward thinking, okay, I'm here by myself.
Mm.
I can't get out on the road. There was no electricity. If I would not have had that wood, me and that damn Shih Tzu would have been in this house losing our damn mind because I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't leave. I couldn't get on the streets. They had everything blocked off. You couldn't drive.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point, El Nixon, that I'm saying. I was fortunate enough to have purchased a home that had a fireplace.
Yeah.
And guess what? The people that live we're in an older subdivision. Nice homes, but they're older subdivision. The people that were around us within that grid, they didn't have fireplaces, El Nixon. And guess what? They were talking about, well, uh, we're gonna try to get a hotel room. The hotel rooms don't have no electricity. So you sitting in a house freezing to death, and there was multiple people that died in their garages because they trying to get warm in their cars and didn't let the goddamn garage door open. or they put generators in their house because they were afraid of somebody stealing the damn generator. All we're saying is, folks, think through your family plan. Like El Nixon said, it could be him, the mother of his children, his children. You have to think about all of that. Make a
Mhm.
plan. Make a plan. Be prepared.
Yeah, in Virginia, and I'm pretty sure it's in other places as well. You talked about the trucks, delivery trucks, but now the kids are back to school and they're short of teachers and bus drivers. And,
Mm.
it's going to be, like you said, grocery stores. So it's really not a vax and unvax thing because if you're vaccinated, you're going to be experiencing some of the stuff too.
Hmm. You still gonna have to go through the same stuff because they're abridging on people's constitutional rights. You don't have the right to put something in somebody's body that's like me going to the damn dentist and my teeth are perfectly fine, but he's making a decision to pull my teeth out. Bitch, you lost your motherfucking mind. I'll tear this whole damn dental office up in this motherfucker. That's
Yeah.
basically what they're doing. They're telling you that you don't have a choice. No, motherfucker, I got a choice.
Yeah. Imagine the people who are vaccinated, right? Imagine, them constantly have to go through shot after shot and they feel some type of way. A lot of them are probably going to be like, no, I had it. You know what I mean? So I foresee a lot of them realizing that, some of us have committed to something that, we didn't expect. You know what I mean?
And they putting shit in your body, and people have to understand. We understand there's chemicals in the food that we buy. Yeah, I get it, but this
Mhm.
ain't the same bullshit here. You don't have a right to tell somebody how the fuck are you. I don't give a goddamn if you are the fucking president, bitch. How the hell you gonna tell somebody if you don't take this, you don't eat, bitch? Then you don't need to motherfucking eat. See, they getting ready to start some shit in this fucking country. These politicians, you don't have a right to tell somebody what they gonna do. I understand the mandatory vaccinations for people to go to school. Okay, that's been standard for what, 50 years plus? Okay, we get it. But this shit now, and then they coming out with the Delta and oh, you got to get a booster shot every damn 2 weeks and all. People ain't getting ready to go through all that bullshit. They're not gonna do it.
I'm gonna say this. All right, so we're talking about that, and we talked about. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of pull us back on topic of being prepared. The other thing about preparedness, um,
Mm-hmm.
like you said about the tree. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's a tree down at my house right now. It's a tree down at my house right now that fell down when it was a storm the other week. I called my brother. He's out of town right now, but he on his way back next week. I said, "Yo, that tree fell at your house." He said, "Did they cut it down?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Good. Don't let them bother my tree." He said, "Cause I'm gonna go ahead and cut it up for firewood." The I'm gonna tell y'all here in our town,
Mm-hmm.
they had a real bad storm before, and this huge tree in town fell down. I'm talking about y'all. This tree was so big. It fell at the courthouse.
Hey guys, I got to get off and take this phone call. I'm jump back on.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
I
All
got.
right, L. Nixon.
All right.
And so what happened is they decided they were going to cut the tree down. Guess what my brother did? My brother told them they was like, "We're gonna take it to the dump." My brother was like, "Nah, take it up the road to my house."
Mm-hmm.
They brought their tree up there, y'all. That tree was so big. It was like actually it was two trees that fell. It was enough firewood in there. My brother had firewood all winter. My father had firewood all winter. And we gave some firewood to my uncle and a cousin. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we do around here because in my area, and Miss Hampton know, in this area where we live at, they do what they call a lot of logging. They got
Mm-hmm.
logging. They do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of logging, pulpwood trees and things of that nature. But
Right.
my father, what he do is when he find out people letting trees falling down, they clearing off their land. They call my father. My father, he get the my father, my brother, and my uncle and my cousin. They get their trucks. They load the tree splitter behind one.
Mm-hmm.
They take and load their trailers behind the other ones, and they take their pickup trucks and they go out there and get all the firewood they can get.
Right.
I got 2 fireplaces in my house.
Mm-hmm.
My father got a fireplace. My brother got a fireplace. My sister got a fireplace. Guess what?
Hmm.
I ain't gonna be out here with nothing to eat.
Right.
Cause guess what? You can cook in your fireplace, people. If
Yes, you
you ain't
can.
got no charcoal to cook it, that's the other thing. I seen somebody say, if you got a propane tank, get your propane tank, have your propane tanks, and get your charcoal. You might have to cook out.
Mm-hmm. Let me go back and let me go out and come back in because my chat is frozen. Let me go out and come back in.
Okay, dear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I need y'all to do. I don't want us to get ready. I want us to be ready. That way we ain't gotta get ready. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's about us learning to do what we gotta do. And you right, Lorna. You they better learn some campus skills. Y'all, I swear for God. I ain't lying. I hated camping when I was in the army. I hated going to, oh God, I hated going to the field. But I'm glad that I did learn some. I did learn some things. I did learn a lot of things. And and in reference to farming, y'all, when I got down here to South Carolina, I ain't know nothing about farming.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know nothing about farming. Y'all know what I learned about farming? My
Mm.
sister is a gardener. She liked to plant flowers and stuff. Guess what? So what I'm doing is I'm going and I'm learning from her. I know my sister is an avid gardener. I do what I let her do what she do. I got a cousin, he a gardener, and he went to school for horticulture. Guess what? I call him down here. Yeah, so what do I need to know about this? And what do I need to know about that? I mean, y'all, I didn't know it was so much stuff that you could cook and eat in the woods that they don't tell us about. Stomp down, are you there, darling? You still here with me, sweetie? Unmute your mic.
There we go. You got me.
I got you now, darling.
Okay, and this is something that like we used to eat poke salad. We used to eat dandelions, all that type of stuff. Those greens. A lot of people don't know that you can eat dandelions. It's not a toxic item. You just wash them off and you just treat it like it's a kale. And then they have a thing that, of course, you call poke salad. There's a whole lot of things that I learned about as I was growing up as a child. And so I still remember those
But
things.
you can't eat. You got to be skilled in cooking that pork salad.
Well, you do, but that's the reason why you have to blanch it. You have to wash it a couple of times. You have to blanch it. You have to pour that water off, boil it again. It's a couple of things you have to do with it. But I remember how to do it because my mother and father taught me how to do it, and as well as how to smoke my meats, how to start my fires, how to cure it. You got cold curing, you got heat curing. I remember all of that because I came from that. I didn't come from the city. So when they taught us a lesson, it wasn't for a moment, it was for 18, 19, 20 years because that's how we live. That if people, I have two or three times what my parents didn't have when they were raising us. And it's because of what they put in us foundationally that we brought forward that gave us the ability to have that. Again, I'll be 55 and have my home paid off. And I know that it's a minor thing to most people, but looking at where I came from, how I was reared, at the time in which I was brought up, I think all of my mother and father's children have done a hell of a job. And going forward with the preparedness. I don't have a problem with cooking outside. That's how most black folks used to cook. I don't have a problem with taking a shit outside. That's how most of them used to shit in them shit houses. I don't have a problem with washing clothes by hand in a bucket and bringing them out and rinsing them, etc., and putting them on a clothesline. I don't have a problem with that. Now, these new people, these modern day people, they might have a problem with that. I don't. I know how to go without air conditioning because that's how I grew up. I don't have to be sitting underneath air conditioning 24 damn 7. We didn't have it when I was growing up. This is just a convenience now that I've gotten older. So, you can go back to living a more simpler life moving forward with preparedness because you may not have AC as the people in Louisiana now. They don't have AC, but we're complaining that we don't have enough here. But we have electricity. They don't have any. We have food or access to food. They don't have any. So we have to think about the greatness of God, how he's blessed us and how he helps us move, how he helps us work with what we have. But if you take it and you just push it aside or you ignore it, then you're ignoring him. Where the hell do you think you get it from? You are the steward of what he gives you. Okay? You wasn't born with it. He gives you certain things, and you're supposed to be the steward of what he gives you. If he gives you your children, you're the steward of those children. He gives you abundance in food, abundance in any resource. Okay, you're a steward of that. And you know why we know that? Because you're made of earth. You're made of the dirt, and you will go back to it. So people, get ready. Get your house in order. That's what I'm saying. Now, let's get 5 more minutes of this prepping, and then I want to get into some of this gossip that's going on this damn chat, if you don't mind.
Oh, baby, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I just want to tell y'all, and this is gonna be this is gonna be the last thing we're gonna say in reference to the prepping. Because we gave y'all some good stuff. Now we're gonna get into some fun. Now, but my thing is, I'm with you, Stomp Down. Folks gotta y'all, let's stop getting ready. Let's be ready.
Mm.
Again, list some of the things that we need. Take inventory and stock of what's in your house and write down some things that you need. Go on some of these prepping sites and see what the white people doing.
Oh,
My
they doing
sisters
it.
and brothers, go on to some of these prepping sites and see what the white folks are doing.
Oh, they doing it.
Get your
They
bug
doing
out
it.
bags ready. Have your couple of 5 gallons of gas lined up in your shed. Have
Mm-hmm.
your kerosene lined up because you don't know when you're gonna need it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all, guess what we about to transition into?
Girl, honey, do we need to start with Kwani first?
Look, honey,
Honey,
do
did you
you?
see that Kwani? Yolanda Kwani then
What's
went
she
off.
doing?
Honey, Kwani was reading
Look, I'm
people
gonna
for they
turn a little bit music.
honey. Kwani was
Who
reading
she
these
was
children for their
reading?
life. Honey, what's that? Wait, I have it written down. Y'all know I gotta take notes now because it is just so much that I love getting into. Ray Allen. Honey, Ray Allen and called Kwani's job. Ray Allen, Miss Ray Allen, who, check this out, people, Lady Knuckles, honey, come to find out, Ray Allen, Queen Viv, the woman is 72 years old calling people's motherfucking job. Do you
Wait
hear
a minute,
me?
who's 72 calling somebody jobs?
Honey, Ray Allen from over there with that big nose, 8-face Sean Bradley. Honey, Kwani on her latest video post, which I watched over an hour ago, went completely the fuck in. Ray Allen. Honey, Kwani served her motherfucking ass for filth. And I went and looked up all the reports that Kwani stated that are accurate, that is in the legal system, have been open and closed on her son. I looked at all of because Kwani gave me the information on case search. Honey, Ray Allen went so far as to Call Kwani's Human Resources Office to find out. Now, this is a 72-year-old mother. You know, somebody need to do something with her motherfucking ass. She called this woman's Human Resources Office, asking, questioning, what were Kwani's benefits? Bitch, why are you calling? And yes, I did say bitch. Why the fuck are you calling that woman's Human Resources Office at her motherfucking job, trying to find out if you could get her benefits taken away from her? If you can
What?
get
Wait
her,
a minute. What the heck is that gonna do?
honey, all I'm saying is this woman, Ray Allen, coming to find out, is 72 years old with a son who has been convicted on multiple counts. Now, this is not alleged. This is the truth of pedophilia with young women and young men posing as a photographer. Child, when I heard that shit, I took all the motherfucking notes. I went right over there to case search, put his motherfucking name in, and there it was. This motherfucker was sitting over here. He was sitting over here trying to be a photographer. At least that's what he told these young women in between the ages of 12 and 15. And then he would take them back. This is not alleged. These are in the court documents. And he would take them back and sit up here and rape them vaginally and rape them anally. And then he would sit up and do his thing all over their face. And then he was, you talking about one disgusting woman, and then that shit that came up out of her pussy that she produced, he is disgusting. That bitch need to be put the fuck down. They need to take his ass to a veterinarian office and put that bitch down with one singular shot. He don't even need to be breathing. Not from what the fuck I read. And then she got her ass, meaning Ray Allen, I said it. She got her ass on here talking all underneath Kwani's clothing, called all out at this woman's job. She's sitting on here trying to put information out on Kwani in regards to her physical address, her children's physical address. This woman is 72 fucking years old. That's what's in goddamn Sean Bradley's motherfucking goddamn chat over there. That's what's in his group, his club. 72. Think about this, people. This woman is 72 motherfucking years old. And she's so degenerated. She's such garbage. At 72, she got one goddamn leg in a 6-foot hole, literally. And all she got to do is sit on motherfucking YouTube and start calling people's motherfucking job. Somebody need to put some paperwork on that bitch. I wish the fuck that whole hoe would put my motherfucking information down. I don't give a fuck if this bitch was in a hover round, a free wheelchair, a cane, a walker. I wouldn't give a fuck if that bitch had cataracts in both of her motherfucking ass.
Your ass need to be worrying about your grandchaps.
Honey,
her
she
ass
can't
need
worry
to be
about
worried about her grandchaps.
what grandchildren. What grandchildren? Hell, he put all
and
his grandchildren.
she need to be doing something about herself, having some degenerate son.
Honey, what grandchildren? He skeeted all them on the backs of children. That's the reason why the bitch was locked the fuck up and he has received several goddamn felonies. That's the whole point that we're making here. And you're absolutely right, Vivian, Queen Vivian Jennings. I don't know who the fuck Ray Allen think the fuck she is at 72. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ray Allen, I'm gonna do a challenge, honey. I'm gonna challenge you to put my motherfucking information out. Bitch, I'll have them motherfucking boys come and pick your ass up at the senior citizen home. I'll have them come pick your motherfucking ass up at your goddamn apartment, bitch. I'll have your motherfucking ass locked the fuck up and hopefully you'll catch COVID twice, bitch, and die. That's what I'll do for you. Nasty asshole. Amazing.
I mean, but she out here
72.
First off, 72, she need to be worrying about her daggone retirement. Out here trying to dock somebody. Why she worrying about her benefits? What is she probably on? Ray Allen probably on Social Security and over there worrying about how she gonna get her next can of dog food to eat.
Honey, you said it correct. I think the bitch is eating 22 cents fucking cat food, and the bitch is sitting up there pissing in a goddamn container on the side of the motherfucking door. But she's a nasty ass fucking hoe. And I did say she's a 72-year-old nasty ass hoe. I wish the fuck that bitch would call my motherfucking job. Why don't they call people's job like mine that can go to Wells Fargo? And while we're speaking about people being called upon and people having paperwork served, honey, Jason had been to Texas. He went to Bexar County down there in San Antonio, Texas, and he even filed goddamn paperwork on Tracy, and them cops is looking for her.
Wait a minute, they what?
Honey, you didn't know? Jason came to Texas, went to Bexar County, went down there to the police station, the new one, downtown, filed paperwork on goddamn Tracy, and now they are looking for Tracy's motherfucking ass. If I'm not mistaken, I think old Big Bree and that other girl, Pizarro, and already let the cat out of the bag. But honey, people think that that's false and they going off of Tracy's word. Honey, don't go off of Tracy's word, honey. I have it on good opinion that everything that Jason said in regards to having her ass locked the fuck up is absolutely the truth. That bitch came, Jason from New Mexico. He came all the way from New Mexico to San Antonio, Texas, went to the detectives and put paperwork on goddamn Tracy ass.
That's the white guy, right? That everybody
That is
scared
correct.
about.
Honey, am I lying, Lady Knuckles? Am I lying? That white boy went downtown there on Tracy's motherfucking ass and put them goddamn papers on motherfucking Tracy, and she can sit up and lie and say she ain't received it and she didn't get the knock at the door. People, I keep telling y'all, you ain't got to answer the door. Don't answer. You ain't got to answer. You ain't even got to look in the newspaper. You ain't got to look online. You ain't got to do nothing. But when that goddamn judge put that signature and that stamp on that bitch, honey, you been served. Hello.
Well, mess around and get a driving ticket. You got a warrant out for your arrest. Mess around and get a driver's ticket. You got a warrant out for your arrest. What happened to my Stomp down? Can y'all hear me? What happened to my Stomp down? Am I still on? Are we still here? Let me drop the link again. Copy and paste. I don't know what happened, y'all. I'm lunching. They go to link, baby doll. Y'all, I'm lunching. I was like, what happened? They go to link, sweetheart. So somebody might be going to JAIL. That ain't a good look. Not a good look at all. Let me see if I drop the link again. Paste. Boom. There you go. Bye, y'all. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Oh, don't worry about it, baby. It happens. But like I said, people think that he did not, meaning Jason, they think that he did not go down there to that courthouse. Yes, he did. Go ahead on, Tracy. Tell all the lies you want. Turn it any kind of way you want to turn it. He already did I-Babe in New Mexico. He already had her ass. She has to come to New Mexico. Now he working on Tracy. I keep telling people, in order for all these people on here to continuously sit up here and dox people, you're going to find people that ain't going to deal with your bullshit. And if they serve you, if, for example, if he had enough money, time, resources to go to Texas to do you think he won't come back and do your ass? And all of them are getting the damn drop done on their ass. People are sitting back gathering information. They documenting, they getting videos, they getting all this shit, and they taking this shit down here to these detectives, and they getting these people's asses served. People, y'all better, and I'm not talking about none of my babies in this chat. All I'm saying is baby, these people better cut this goddamn doxing and talk. Baby, y'all better cut this shit out because these people are not playing with y'all.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, and that white guy looked like he got the time and the resource. He looked like he a trust fund baby. So trust fund babies ain't got nothing to do with their money but to go and keep up trouble.
Right, and that's what he's doing. And the thing about it is hey, honey, let me tell y'all something, and y'all already know this. Honey, ain't nobody got no extra money to be going down here trying to pay somebody $250 an hour, $300 an hour to go in here and have the judge tell them to tell you to say I'm guilty. Baby, where y'all coming up with this $350 a damn hour from? Baby, y'all better leave these damn people the fuck alone. And you cannot tell these people to stop this bullshit. And you see Vibrance, Lowell's comment, info according to his community, it's on his community page. And people don't have no time to be going to jail, baby. People are dying in these jails. People are dying in these prisons. People are dying in these county lockups. Baby, you go down there and catch, you know those places are filthy. That ain't no home. It's a lockup. It's a cell. Why are you trying to get into a damn coffin? If you go into the county jail, that's like going to the guy, go ahead on and get in the coffin.
And
Baby, it ain't worth it.
You right about that. It's just like getting in a coffin, because I'm gonna tell y'all, COVID running rampant in them jails.
And you see Tropical Punch, he said, that's why I will not get a channel because of the doxing. Baby, I'm gonna tell you something. I talk to Vivian all the time. Vivian will tell you, honey, I don't share my information. I don't share Vivian's information. We don't do that. We're adults. And what you have to understand is you have to learn from other people. One, you don't share your image. You don't share your phone number. You don't share your image. You don't share your email address. You don't share anything. You have every right to come on here, but you have to guard your own privacy. You have a right to have a channel. You have a right to have an opinion. But what you don't want to do, like Sean Bradley, like Tracy, like all the rest of them, they're giving people physical locations. They're giving people their phone numbers. They're giving people their home addresses, their email addresses. They put their kids online. Baby, you don't need to do that. And people always in the crack of my hands talking about why he don't show his face. Bitch, if you saw my face, you might like my motherfucking face. That's one. But I don't think that's necessary. You don't need to see me. You don't need to know where I live at. You don't need to know where the fuck I work at. You don't need to know shit about me. And I come on here at the privilege of Queen Viv. I talk my shit. I upload our video onto my page and we move the fuck on. But baby, let me go ahead and tell you about this. Honey, he, like I said, this boy then drove to Texas and he had actually told people 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago, that he was driving to Texas. They thought he was full of shit. No, he wasn't. He drove down here to Texas, did Tracy's motherfucking ass, or he flew down here to Texas, did his shit, and got the fuck right on back down into New Mexico. Now let's get on Kiki for a moment. I mean,
you know what? Kiki made my go ahead.
Honey, Kiki, I don't agree with. I don't like his energy. I think he's juvenile. I think he's immature. I think that he needs to pay specific importance to his family. You know, those multiple stepchildren that he has over there, and his wife. Remember, he's from Louisiana. Enough said. But he's got on this tangent of going around talking about people's dead mothers. Let me tell you something, Kiki. My mother always told her children, laughter is catching. So see, you could laugh at that motherfucker on the cane. Guess what, bitch? You might end up on two of them. You laughing at somebody else's mother being deceased, your mother may hit the wall in a year or two. See, you have to be very careful about digging people's mothers and fathers and deceased relatives about the grave. Because guess what? Everybody got to go that direction. And when people find out that maybe your mama got cancer and she dead, like he talked about J Dunn's mother, and like he talked about what's her name? Ronnie Q's mother.
Ronnie Q mother. Oh, he was so nasty. He talked about on Jay Wilson's chat the other night.
And you know what? You're right,
up
Lena.
there and he talked about Jay Wilson's mama.
Right.
He
And Lena, you're right.
And I mean, he was so nasty when he was talking about Jay Wilson. What about your dead mama? Did she know you was gay and this and that and the other?
Right.
He is ridiculous. And he is the biggest dude running around, like Jay Wilson told him. Look, you running around here in a bunch of gay men chats. That's a little suspect.
I told him what he was about, and the thing about it is he's the type of person that is he wants to be an antagonist. And first of all, Ken, and no disrespect to anyone who's currently doing this or who have done it, because I did it my first a few years as I was growing up. But you got this dishwashing, pot cleaning ass bitch that's damn near 40 years of age, and he's sitting up here trying to be an antagonist. Bitch, get the fuck up out of here. And then you have this broken English, broken teeth. Obviously, you're broke. We've already seen your penis. That bitch is broke. Your back is broke. Your face is broke. And then you sitting up here trying to be a motherfucking antagonist. That's what I could never get over. And you've had no goddamn significant accomplishments in your life. But you sitting up here, when he talked about Ronnie Q's mother, he kept referring to all of these people's mother as that dead bitch over there. Now think about that, ladies, in the chat. Lena, every time, Tropical Punch, every time he would refer to someone's deceased mother, that dead bitch, that dead hoe, that dead slut. Now, this is someone's mother. I don't give a damn if she is deceased. Do you have any fucking dignity whatsoever? Do you understand the words that you're saying? You speaking over someone's deceased mother. You can't, I don't know how you could, as a human being, sit and speak over someone's, not even if the mother was living, that's bad enough. But to speak and put words on someone's deceased mother, that hoe over there, that slut, that dead slut, that dead bitch. So you know what, Kiki? In the right circles, somebody would knock the rest of your teeth out of your motherfucking mouth. You munchkin face, mushroom, raccoon eye having bitch. Somebody will hurt you. Because if you speak over my mother with that filth that's coming out of your mouth, you don't know how precious a woman is. I don't give a damn if your mother's a housekeeper. I don't give a damn if your mother was on drugs. Tita Talks told you that. I don't give a damn what your mother's done. She will forever be your mother. I don't give a fuck if you live to be a 90 years old. You will always refer to her as mama. And for you, with your filthy fucking mouth, you degenerate, to sit over here and speak over somebody's fucking mother like that, you a fucking disgusting piece of fucking trash. And to think, D-Cop, he actually has female children that he's supposed to be raising. How do you speak over someone's mother like that? You see how agitated I am? See, I will get in your ass about you talking about my motherfucking mother.
I'm going to tell you what really pissed me off. And then he kept talking about, yeah, I'm going to do a seance. I'm going to do the Ouija board. You want me to call him up? You want me to call him up? I was like, oh, he about to make me throw up. It was ridiculous.
I have one mother. They don't make anymore. People, my mother and everybody, older women will tell you this. You only have one. Your mother will pull you up out of a sink of shit. That's how much she loves you. She doesn't give a shit. Your mother will do things for you that no other woman will ever do. They can't do. You only have one. Period. And for him to sit up, that hoe over there, that's dead slut.
You see what Yolanda said? Everything he says is disgusting, and people think it's cute. People do think it's cute.
No, it's not cute.
And they keep supporting him. But I'm going to tell y'all, I had one person that came from my mama on here. That crazy ass Larry Nelson said something about my mama when I asked him a question about sharing somebody's picture. And he tried to come for my mama on Jay Wilson channel. And Jay Wilson was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We not going to do this with Miss Murray. Because that's what my mama is. My mama's a Miss Murray too. And people have met my mother and they've seen my mother on here. My mama ain't got nothing to do with this boo, jibby jive. But I'm going to tell you this much. It is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
He talks about females and how he talks about people mamas. He got on it and called Ronnie Q's mama and Jay Wilson's mama everything but a child of God.
I wish he would be in my face and even open his. And my mother's an old woman. She's born in 1934. If he even said one, if he even looked at her wrong, I would run that nigga motherfucking ass out. Girl, you only have one mother, singular. They don't make any more. But you gonna have enough nerves to sit over here and call whether she is deceased or living. And all he could say, and this is how disgusting that punk is, that hoe, that slut, that bitch, that dead bitch. Bitch, you get ready to die today. I wish the fuck you'd say some shit about my mother like that, my motherfucking face, bitch. You gonna get it done today. And you can call me fag, sissy, whatever, but I'm gonna be a fag, sissy on your motherfucking ass. Dirty ass, disgusting ass fucking punk. And you got a wife, and then you got children up in your house that are females, and you sitting up here talking about females like you do. You are disgusting.
You know what? I don't understand how these guys come on here. Because you know what I think he's trying to do? I think he's trying to do the shock value thing, like the shock doc thing, like that crazy Tommy Sotomayor. You know how he always calling women out their name?
Mm-hmm.
And I never for the life of me understood how people can be so nasty to other people's parents. I mean, like, you know, you've seen it where they've gotten on here and called people's mamas and call their mamas out their name. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my mom about this Stomp. Damn. I asked,
Mm-hmm.
I said, Mama, what will you do if somebody call you and say your daughter on YouTube is she a 30-year side hoe? My mom
Mm-hmm.
said they can call me if they want to. I have a whole conversation with them because you know what? I'm bored anyway. she, she said, tell them to call me. I'm bored anyway. I need somebody to talk. Stop there. By the end of the conversation, they won't even know. They won't even know she knew.
Well, see, that's how you have to be. See, because she's lived. Your mother has lived long enough to know that you can't deal with them fools. You can't deal with a fool like that, because if you try to talk sense to people, if you try to sit up there and apply logic to someone like Ken, he's not going to learn it, baby, because he's refused to accept his reality. Often when you find people like Ken Nola News, and there's so many of them on here, they, baby, the struggle is doing what you need to do in life, Yolanda. The struggle is, and the happiness comes from hard work. It comes from integrity. It comes from respect. It comes from all of those things that make you a human being. I could sit on here all day, every day, and say, "Whole bitch, slut, motherfucker, tramp," but I don't have any value. Your words at some point should mean something. And the reason why I'm spending so much time on Ken Nola News is because he's relatively a young man. And his idea of life and who he is and all of his complications in his own being is actually being presented on YouTube. His struggle is actually being presented on here because he's taken out on here, going through women, degrading people who have same gender relationships or love affairs or whatever. He's taken out what he can't do in the streets on here. And that's fine. The thing with people like him that I've learned in 53 years is that you have to simply accept him for who he is, where he is, and you have to make the choice to move on. You have to block people like that. You've got to set him to the side. Don't deal with him. D-Cop has seen thousands of people like him her entire career. Vivian, being overseas, being in the military, she's seen people like him for thousands and thousands and thousands of people like that. Honey, you have to drop those people. You have to cut them off. You got to sit them to the side and you have to move on. When he wakes up, it might be too late. He might be 45 going on 50 trying to do something in his life, but he's already wasted 10, 15, 20 years of his life with trying to be the thug, You could just see it in him, and it's horrible. But getting back to Kwame,
Wait a minute, but my question, I got one more question about him.
sure.
What kind of woman is that he's with that she actually goes for that bull job? That she lets him sit up here and act a fool like this on? Is that low self esteem or rather no self esteem? I'm just
Well,
asking a question.
well, a lot of the women in here already know it. Even if you have millennials and the Generation X, etc., you can have all of them within your chat. I can take a look at her on the photos that he has provided that have been taken off of his Facebook and posted on YouTube, etc. And she's right about the same class, the same category as he is. Those are the kind of people who live day to day. When you have a forward thinking person such as you and I and Yolanda and Tropical Punch and Lena, etc., what you'll see is that quite often we have the same path. We think to a degree the same way. He has to get with a woman that thinks similar to him. Okay, we're going to live for today. For example, he's currently in Houston with no way to pay for a place for his family to stay. So he has to go through FEMA to get money to be able to stay somewhere. Now, this is a man that has a woman and children that he is supposed to legitimately support. But because he's on YouTube, because of his limited education, because of his lack of skill, because just not being a man, he's incapable of doing it. So what does he do? As people often do, they come on here and they take out everything that's going on in their life on everyone else that's on the chat. That's where your mama jokes come in. That's where the dead whole shit comes in. That's where all of that comes in. When you see a person like that, whether they're in your family, extended family, co-workers, baby, you don't fool with garbage like that. That's what you call a temporary person. That's somebody that you would fuck and leave at the club. If you could take looking at his rat teeth and his horrible skin and them raccoon eyes and his short stature and his small penis, he has absolutely nothing that a real woman would regard as a man. I have more than he has. I would be considered more of a, and I'm a homosexual, and I'd be considered more of a motherfucking man than he is. At least I can keep a motherfucking job, a lucrative job. At least I can provide a motherfucking roof over my motherfucking head. I'm not a fucking criminal. I'm not a drunk. I'm not a drug abuser. So that's what you're dealing with. He's not a man yet. He's still what women call a man child. That's what he is. And again, this is not a 27-year-old man. This is a bitch that's damn near 40 years old. Okay? That's a 40-year-old bitch made nigga. That now I understand what people talk about when they say bitch made nigga. He's a bitch made nigga. And people like him and Timothy Blaine and all the rest of them, they hate on people like Jay Wilson that can afford a home. Bitch, if you had the credit, shouldn't you have one? Shouldn't you leave something for somebody else? Shouldn't you have transference of wealth? Who the fuck wants to live in a goddamn apartment for motherfucking goddamn 40 years around random motherfuckers who come and go? Who wants to live like that? Obviously he does. But he sits his stinking, nasty, short, funky fucking ass up on here trying to be that and antagonist. He doesn't have the education to be the antagonist. All that bitch need to do is put on an apron, get his ass back there in that kitchen, wash some dishes, make some plates. Okay, go back out to the dining room, get those plates, bring them back, wash them, make a couple of more plates, put some sandwiches together, put some cheese and bread together, pour some soup into a bowl. Bitch, that's what you do whenever they need you for them 28 hours or 30 hours or whatever the fuck they're giving you for that job that you got. That's not a man. And if any woman gets with a bitch like that, she better be a working motherfucker. And as you've heard on here, these are Ken Nola's words, not mine. His woman always working somewhere. She's a home healthcare aide out here working, cleaning asses and changing Pampers and rubbing old nasty titties down with old mink oil and all that kind of bullshit. That's what the fuck she do. Honey, that ain't a man. Go ahead on, girl.
Wait a minute. You see what Yolanda put down? She said, Lady P got her wings. So Lady
Honey,
P passed away.
ain't nobody told me nothing about that. When the hell did that come up, Yolanda? Honey, I need to hear about this. D-Cop, did you hear anything about that D-Cop? I need to know about this immediately.
Yolanda said she put in Miss Vivian and Stomp down. I don't know if you heard, but Lady P from Babe Nation has got her wings.
Honey, can somebody please tell me where I can go and look that information up? I need to know more about
They
this.
said if I be speaking on it now.
Girl. Ooh. And you know what? Wasn't that COVID stuff?
Yep.
D-Cop, wasn't that the COVID? Yolanda, that was COVID, right?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. They said they just heard it.
Honey, we got to pray. And that's what I tell D-Cop all the time. I sit back and I've been looking at D-Cop's videos. I go from the oldest to the new ones. And one thing I've noticed is that she's always the same way. And she's level-headed. And I've said this since the day, and I'm not going to say anything negative about Lady P because I've never had a problem with her. But people, we have got D-Cop, I've been saying, and condolences to her entire family. She has a son.
Condolences to the family of Lady P. You know,
she's not. Her son ain't even 18 years old, and that's what I was saying about people's mothers. How important they are. I've been saying it. Oh, honey, y'all got my heart crushed because she had.
Lady P that came on here and cussed out a couple people and stuff like that. But you don't wish death on nobody.
And Lady P wasn't even 40 years old.
I think she was older than 40.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to dwell on it, but I will tell you this. For the room, we talked about preparedness. That's a portion of life as well. We need to prepare for when these types of things happen. We have to prepare. And if you have to make a decision, D-Cop, Teresa Miller, if you have to make a decision between you got to go to that job and potentially catch COVID and leave your family early, we need the people, we have to get prepared. We have to be thinking outside the box. And it hurts my heart. I used to talk to Lady P on here all the time. And she, in my opinion, was a really good woman. You know, again, she had her opinion just like anyone else. But we have got to wish her family, Godspeed. We need to be civilized. We need to only have great and good words about her to help her ascend to our Lord Savior. We have no other excuse.
And my thing is, she did have some pre-existing conditions. I know they talked about her being on dialysis. They talked about her having some kidney problems and things of that nature. Look, you guys, that's why we can't get ready. We got to be ready. That's why I'm telling y'all, drink your water. Get your water and your foods and stuff ready because, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the thing, too. They said that Lady P is what you call immunocompromised, where it's either the medication or the vaccine, as a lot of immunocompromised people cannot have. That is correct. And the thing about it is that we have to think about being proactive. My people, my babies, my love, my Black people. If someone is telling you that you have to compromise your health, your well-being, and that of your family, then you have to make a conscious decision. When you ladies get up in the morning and you taking care of your babies, may it be your mother, your children, whatever, do we need to ensure that their hands are washed? Do we need to ensure that they've had a healthy, wholesome meal? Do we need to make sure that they have their vitamins? Do we need to make sure that they have their masks? We need to ensure that we're taking care of our people. We need to ensure that, because this is hitting me very heavy. It could have been something as simple as just being somewhere at the wrong time. But if we have and we take the proactive measures, we can prevent a lot of this, right, Viv?
You can. And my thing is, y'all, I mean, you can have all these disagreements you want to have on YouTube. But y'all, we got to start realizing this thing called life is not forever.
No, it's not, baby. And I looked at D Cop's video where she was celebrating, and if she doesn't mind me saying this, because she did put it on her channel, but I think she's either 58 or 59. God has truly blessed her. He's blessed her with health, a beautiful family, and she's always surrounded by people. She exercises, she gets out there, she lives her life. And again, if you look at her, or if you listen to her, she always have the same temperament, the same way that my girl Queen Viv does. There's something in preparing yourself, because we know I have more years behind me than I do in front of me, and I'm 53, and I'm thinking that way now. So again, we need to, practice preparedness and get our things in order and do what we need to do and be kind to people if we can be kind to them, and share with people if we can share with them. But I'm learning, Queen Viv, at my age, I'll be 54 in May. And what I'm learning is that I've become more patient with people. I've become more observant. Become more relaxed. I've become more reserved, because what used to be important is no longer important to me. Waking up every morning and thanking God that I woke up is more important than the bullshit that we go through in daily life and on YouTube. Go ahead on, girl.
And you're right. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all. I tell everybody, my mama 89, my daddy 84. We took mama to the doctor for an MRI yesterday. All right, and before the doctor finished reading the MRI, he called my mom. He called her doctor back, and said she had to get in with a back doctor immediately because they thought she had a back fracture. Y'all, so do you guys see why a lot of this stuff on here is this BS on YouTube is not that important to me? When you got an 89-year-old mama that you got to make sure that she stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this?
Right.
So y'all, I'm just telling y'all, I'm so sad that Lady P passed away, y'all. I really am.
Right.
Because the thing is, I don't wish death on anybody.
Right.
Anybody. I don't, that's why it makes me so mad when people be out here doxing and acting a fool.
Right. And
Come on, y'all.
compromising people. And compromising people. And when it is not important, if we let me tell you something. We just sat on here and we talked for over an hour about preparedness. Yes, again, we did have a little shade, a little giggle. We did have everything. But as you can see, Tropical Punch, things come back into order. God has a way of bringing you back in line, in order. Again, I've been blessed to live 53 years. Completely and totally blessed. I have friends that grew up in my neighborhood. I could count 10 on my right off on my hand because it was a small country neighborhood. All but two of them are dead and gone. Not locked up, dead and gone. I just had, by the grace of God, He allowed me to make the right decisions and go in the right direction to do the right thing with my life as He had promised it to me. But it says there in the book that you're not guaranteed anything. So what do we need to do going forward? We need to cherish our children, our husbands, our wives, our lovers, our significant others, our mothers, our dads. We need to do all of those things, and we need to take every day as if it's your last. And it's the truth. And again, as I have gotten older, I don't, baby, I'm starting to understand what mom and daddy told us for years. Baby, that stuff ain't important. If I could sit on the porch for 4 hours a day and watch the cars go by and the people get up and go to work, that's just what I want to do. And that's the point that I'm getting to where I don't even want to work no more. And you know why? Because I'm tired. I've been working since I was 17, but I'm trying my best to give. I had, for example, let me give you something. Okay, let me give you something. I had a niece that had a child, Yolanda. Right? I had a niece that had a child. She got up after she had the child the next day. She walked out the hospital. They called down here and said, well, she walked away from the child. And people from the agency came and got the child. And I got my little things together, Teresa Miller. I got my things together and I went to the specific state where the child was left at. Now, this is my niece that had my great niece. that she got up off her back, walked out the hospital, left the child there. So I called my two sisters right above me, and we get down there, and they say, "Well, you got to talk to this social worker, and you got to talk to this person, because now the cops got to take, they got to write stuff down, and the nurses is writing stuff down. You just can't go and get the child. The child belongs to the state." Okay. So I said, "Well, I'll take the child. I don't have any children. I'll take the child." And then my sister, she stepped in and she said, "Well, no, baby." She said, "You got a whole lot to do. And we have a whole lot of plans for you, Yolanda, Tropical Punch." That's what they told me. And so my sister, just right above me, she got the child. And the child today is 16 years old. But that young lady, the point that I'm making is she made a choice. And we're talking about life experiences here today. And I don't mind sharing them with you. But she made a choice at that point in time in her life that she didn't want the child. And then 2 years after that, she didn't want the child. And 4 years after that, she didn't want the child. And 10 years after that, she didn't want the child. And one day, she saw the child on Facebook, on my sister's page. And guess what? She wanted the child. And guess what I did, Teresa Miller? You want to know what I did, Teresa Miller? As I commonly tell y'all, I went right on down to Wells Fargo Bank. I got a cashier's check. I went and found a good lawyer. I said, the child is what we want. And if she got a fucked up background and she doing what the fuck she want to do, I want it all. And guess where the child is today? Just where the hell she's supposed to be at with my sister, because I went to Wells Fargo and had that shit handled. The point I'm trying to make to y'all, baby, is always be prepared. Always be prepared. And you know what? In hearing about Lady P's passing, we need to pray. Because as I've heard about other people's passing on here, baby, it ain't a joke. It's nothing to laugh about. We don't need to hear shit about nobody's motherfucking kidneys. We don't need to hear nothing about where somebody's staying at. We don't need to hear something about somebody's past. We don't need to hear nothing about none of that. And again, I'm not speaking to my folks that's in this chat. I'm speaking in general because I'm going to repost this video on my motherfucking channel. Baby, I'm telling y'all right now, do not speak badly of the deceased, the dead. Don't do that. And again, I'm not speaking to anyone in this chat. If you speak badly about Lady P, I'm coming for your motherfucking ass. Because you don't have a right to do that. That is someone's fucking mother, their daughter, their cousin, etc. Don't speak bad of this woman and don't have any bad thoughts of her. And again, I'm not speaking to anyone, Teresa Miller, that's in this chat. We already know that y'all civilized young ladies and gentlemen. We know that.
And that's the thing I don't understand. You don't have to agree with the person's politics, religion, opinions, or anything. But you ain't got to, person is already deceased. You ain't got to go take your Timberland boot and put it on their head.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, people. Don't do it. We live in perilous times. And this is biblical and it's been spoke on. The shit that's going on now, and I know we're going in different directions, and I wanted to give more, about the YouTube streets, but at this point, I can't do it because this is how important all of you ladies in this chat are. This is how important your children are. This is how important your husbands and the fathers of your children and etc. This is how important people are. Everything stops when someone else is hurting. Everything should stop when someone else has a loss. All of the pettiness and the bullshit, everything needs to stop. And we need to pray. And we need to thank God. And we need to speak of her elevation and her transition and about the goodness of the individual that we all knew her to be. Again, we all know that people have problems.
You see what Yolanda says?
What does she say, baby?
Yolanda says she told Lady Knuckles. Okay, so Lady Knuckles said she praying that nobody's going to say something stupid.
Don't say it.
And then but Yolanda said, somebody will. And it's sad because I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen in Jay Wilson chat. Because I
Right.
know Jay Wilson gonna speak on it. He's gonna say, he's sorry about her passing, is hurting him. Then all of a sudden you're gonna see all of those trolls in there, and they're gonna be talking about, well, did she cuss you out? Did she do this? Did she do that? They won't even let the man grieve, you know what I'm saying, or let people grieve like they
I'm
want
grieving.
to. And it's
I'm grieving.
ridiculous.
I'm grieving. And everybody in here, I believe they're grieving. If Teresa Miller, if you had an interaction, Lady Knuckles, all of us, we've had an interaction with Lady P, whether we listen to her chat or, we're in her chat or, in whatever capacity. I'm a human being. And I'm telling you, I'm all the way here in the southern state. And as you've seen, when I heard that, when it was put in the chat, everything ceased because it's not about the giggling. It's not about the shade. It's not about the reading. It's not about the serving. This is about a woman's life. None of that bullshit matters. And anyone that says something bad about Lady P, and I'm giving clear notice for people who re-listen to this video, if you say anything about her that's negative, I'm telling you right now, we're going to be all over your motherfucking ass. Keep your mouth off of this woman. And I have one particular person that I know is going to say something that they're going to light his ass up. And I'm going to leave it at that. Don't say anything bad about this woman, please. This is someone's mother. You got to understand, you have this woman with young children. She's got 2 or 3 children, young children. And because I'm
And
not
she
going to say,
was, and I'm 52, and she wasn't as old as I am.
no,
So
she wasn't. And Viv, baby, this is how it hurts me so much. She would always talk of how she would feed her children, irregardless of her health condition. She would get up, she would feed her children, she would take care of them. I saw photos of her children. And again, yes, she has one that's a little bit older, but she has 1 or 2 that's a little bit younger. So again, this is the value of women. And these children will be forever, forever missing their mother. Because again, you only have one. I don't care if she's 80 years old, 68, 72, 59. There is only one. Women are unique. They can stop things from happening. They can make men and women do things because that's their nature. It's built in, that's what God gave them. That's what they're here for. So when you remove that, such as a woman like Lady P who has children who still have to be raised, then how do you think they feel? So it's not best for us to say anything negative. Do not say anything negative. Hey, Miss Beverly, don't say anything negative about this woman. Do not. I don't care what she said. I don't give a goddamn. Keep your mouth. And this is not for the folks that's in the chat because I'm emotional here. Don't say anything about this woman because if you're talking about her, you're gonna talk about her children. If you're talking about her, you're talking about her grand. Don't do that. And if anyone does that, Miss Beverly, if anyone says anything, we don't need to be in agreement with them. We don't need to be in lockstep with them. If you are a mother, which I'm pretty sure the majority of, I know Miss Beverly is a mother for sure. She's a grandmother. If you don't say, no, I don't think that's right. No, you need to stop doing that. Don't say anything negative about her. As a woman that has children or grandchildren, then it's something wrong with you as a mother. Because we already know people gonna come out here saying shit about this woman. So if you in these people's chats, I don't give a damn if they do block you. Fuck them. You don't have a right to say something about a woman
I'm at a
like
point
that.
now. I'm at a point now. I am so tired. I mean, what was her name? The last content China Doll.
China
It,
doll.
that hurt me so bad. How all of these people, her husband had to come on here, and
Right.
that was just ridiculous. Folks, let these folks rest in peace.
It's unnecessary, Miss Beverly. Lady Knuckles, it's unnecessary. D Cop, it's unnecessary. We need to stand with this woman and her family through what they're going through because she was a part of our families, regardless if you like her commentary or not. We need to set that aside. We need to be praying for her ascension. We need to be praying that she makes it with our Heavenly Father. We need to be praying for her children. This woman has children.
Hey, Absalom Pianki. And you right, she has a husband and some kids. Respect if look,
Respect them.
if you ain't got nothing nice to say about folk,
Don't say
just
it.
respect the death. And you right, Vibrant Love. Respect is nice upon death, and it would be nice if the respect was paid while people were alive. And again, you right. You don't have to like, love, or even be just common decency and courtesy. And you right. It that thing with Lady China was redunculous.
Yes, it
And so
was.
please, y'all, let's not have a replay of that.
Yes, and she did, Teresa Miller. She did make it. And it's not a negative thing that we have to leave here and we have to transition. But what we need to do, Teresa Miller, is we need to support Lady P and her family in her absence, in her transition to our Heavenly Father. And we need not allow people to speak down on this woman in her name, because if they're speaking down on her, they're speaking down on her husband and her children. That's what I'm saying.
So my thing is this, you guys. We got to be more sensitive to people. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's some folks on here that make my butt itch. That I mean, that's just the way for me, the easiest way for me to say it without being so super disrespectful. But if something happened to them, that don't mean that I'm not going to care enough that I'd be like, you know, nice to them. I always have told y'all that grace and mercy was extended on all of us. So how
Yes.
about us extending grace and mercy on other people? I know the other night y'all saw me go off on Jay Dunn, and sometimes it just happens
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
people irritate you enough. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, that don't mean that I've not given her grace and mercy.
Yes, yes, yes. And
And
Yolanda,
as
I will. Yolanda, I will. I'm not going to pay any attention to it. I have to deal with this in the time in which I'm in. And Lena, I'm going to deal with it. And as a human, I have emotions, I have feelings, I have thoughts. And again, I'm blessed to have my mother, and I'm blessed to understand the value of a woman. This is what I'm trying to express. I, the loss of their mother is you can't counsel someone on that, even if Viv, I, Lena, Miss Beverly, etc. If you lose your mother, I can't come to you and counsel you on your mother. That's your mother. You only have one. So my thoughts and my feelings, yes, you can say, well, my condolences. All I get it. I understand you've been through that, but this is my experience. This is my mom. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's your mom.
siblings can't even, although it was the same mom, they had the same mom. Even siblings sometimes find it hard consoling each other in
Right.
reference to their mother.
Because it's different with every child. The mother has a different experience or connection with each child. This is the reason why I keep reiterating this until I get off of this live. Miss Beverly is a mother and a grandmother, and I'm assuming she's going on to be a great grandmother if she's not already a great grandmother. We have to respect her because we have to understand her struggle and what she went to raise her children. She didn't drag them up. I've listened to Miss Beverly. She has a channel. And so we need to encourage our people. Just be respectful. Don't be disrespectful. If you know that you wouldn't say what you're going to say in polite company, if you can't say it around your boss, if you can't say it around your mother, if you can't say it around your own siblings, don't say it. Do not don't say it. Leave it alone. Let this woman rest in peace. We've been notified that Lady P has passed away. People, let's just be respectful. And again, this is not for the folks in the chat. This is for people that will come back and listen. Don't get in the woods on Lady P, because I think if you, as a content creator, if you go the negative route with Lady P, it's not going to really turn out well for you. I suggest you leave that alone and let the family grieve, let the husband and the children take care of Lady P, and leave it alone. And if I were close enough to Lady P, I actually would have flown into Florida to be of service to her family in any way that I could possibly help or assist them. That's the kind of person that I am. So, Viv, I guess this is a great place to stop.
Yeah, sweetheart, it's been 2 hours. And y'all, thank y'all for coming over. You guys, listen, I'm almost at 4,000 watch hours. We got to get Stomp down up to his 1,000 folk, and we got to get him up to his 4,000 watch hours.
That's
So
amazing.
I am praying that you guys, come on, you guys, let's go over there and subscribe to Stomp Down.
Hey, before you leave, Viv, can you give me 35 seconds? Just give us a prayer or give us some encouragement before you leave off here in regards to Lady P. Can you do that for us collectively in this chat?
I can do that. I can do that. You know that's my thing. Y'all, one thing about Viv is, y'all- one thing about me is that I do believe that in these perilous times, in this time of where we living in, we gotta do better. We gotta be there for one another. We gotta be there to help one another. We gotta be there to encourage one another. We not always gonna agree with everything everybody says, and we're not gonna always agree with each other. But what we can say is that we can respect each other. And that's the main thing that Stomp Down and I we've been talking about, and everybody in the chat. We have to respect each other. And if you can't be respectful, please, please, please just don't say nothing.
Nothing.
Just don't say nothing. And I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your words, and then I'll end it with a quick prayer.
Yeah, the only thing I'm saying, Teresa Miller, Miss Beverly, Lady Knuckles, Yolanda, and everyone else that I have not spoke to in the chat, we truly appreciate you being here. What we've learned here this night is humility. We've learned to we need to humble ourselves. We need to understand that we're in and always have been in perilous times. We need to understand the value not only of our mother, but women in general, our children, the value and support that they support and value us with, how important each and every one of us are. And irregardless of what you may feel, you may think, we may have disappointments, we may have downturns in life and things that we go through situationally. This year, which is the second one in this particular sector that we will have to deal with. I want every and each one of you to move forward with God's approval. I want you to move forward with the blessings of God. I want you this evening to think about your children and how valuable, because 99% of you are women, how valuable you are to your child. They could be 30, 60, 80 years of age. They will always be your child. So when you go to bed this evening, I want you to pray for your children as you always do, as you commonly do. Pray that they wake up. Pray that they get home safely. Pray that they're fed well. Pray that they're clean. Pray that they abide by the rules and regulations, the guide laws of God. And we need to move forward with that. And we need to love one another. And again, as mothers, grandmothers, some soon to be great grandmothers, take this as a caveat to your life and say, I need to do just a little bit better moving forward. Go ahead on, Bill.
And I'm gonna say this: we have some fathers here in the chat too. And I'm gonna say, fathers, guess what? We want you to go ahead and take from this, and please remember, we care about you too. It's not just the mothers we care about, but we care about the fathers too. But it hits a little different when a child loses a mother. It hits a little different. We know that the child need their father also. They need their father just as much as they need their mother, but it hits a little different when a child loses a mother. So I'm going to end it with a prayer, and as I just pray that each and every one of us just remember, go call our family members, tell them that you love them while they are still here. Your friends, call your friends and tell them that you love them while they are still here on this side of the earth, on this side of the ground, where they can hear you and they understand it. So I'm
Yes.
going to end it with a prayer. Most gracious
Yes.
and everlasting Father, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to come together, God, tonight to talk about staying ready. God, we want to stay ready. We want to
Yes.
be ready. We know not the day nor the hour when you're going to call us home. Father God, we're going to ask a special blessing upon Lady P. Father God, please commit her soul into your hands and into your world. Father, we ask that you bless her family, bless her children, bless
Yes.
her husband, bless those that knew her on here. Father God, we ask that you send a comforter, a comforter to comfort those in the time of her passing.
Yes.
God, dry the weeping eyes. We know, God, that you told us that it's always, God, we know it's always better. We know it's a better place. We don't know, every sickness is not unto life and every sickness is not unto death. But God, just we know whatever your will is, it's the best will for all of us.
Yes.
Give us the understanding to understand what your will is, God.
Yes.
Teach us the lesson and help us learn the lesson.
Yes.
Because that's the most important thing. And we understand that it's us that need to learn the lesson.
Yes. Yes.
God,
Yes.
give us the understanding to understand it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Lord, just bless her family again, God. Keep her kids in a special way.
Yes.
And Lord, keep each and every one of us.
Mm, mm,
It
mm.
is in the name of your son Jesus the Christ that we pray always. Amen.
Yes. 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 Thank you so much,
Y'all,
Via.
you welcome. And on that note, I'm going to tell y'all, as my mama always says, live, love, and laugh.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
as my daddy always says, Lord, make us a blessing that we may be a blessing. And
Yes.
I pray that we bless somebody on here tonight. Y'all, we asking y'all, stay ready. That way you don't have to get ready. Go ahead and
Yes.
make your list. Get your list together. Get your important papers and documents where your folks can find them and they'll know where they are. And I want everybody to stay safe. Miss Hampton, I hope you find me tomorrow evening on the field. I'll be there. And I just pray that each and every one of us, yes, she passed away, sweetheart, Miss
Mm.
Hampton. So I just pray that I see you tomorrow on the field tomorrow night, Miss Hampton. Everybody, y'all,
Mm, mm, mm. You're right, Via. We're gonna let it go, Via, because it's people gotta they've got to be able to, and I know people are gonna go out and they're gonna view things or whatever, but I want everybody to just have a blessed evening. Think about your children, your daughters, your sons, your mothers, your fathers, and just think about the blessing and think about He woke you up and we're here and we want to again just send your prayer up with Lady P. She's transitioned. She's with the Heavenly Father, and we just need to simply leave it at that. And we're going to move forward, and we're going to pray for her family. And if in any way, if 5A releases something to where we can help support her family financially or in any way, I think we all need to consider doing that. It's been a great evening, Viv. I think we just need to leave it on that and let people kind of let this soak in a little bit.
yeah, you guys go. As Miss Satin says, please go and listen at the song by Mississippi Mass Choir. I pray that we all be ready, y'all. That's a good song. That is a good song.
I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all. It's been a great
we
evening.
love y'all.
We do. We love all of y'all. Everybody that's here, we love y'all. It's not phony. We're here for you. We love you, and we appreciate you being with us.
We really and truly do. All right, Stomp Down. On that note,
All right, baby.
we're out of here.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.